Like, do you get nervous before you podcast? Because I always do to like some degree.
It depends on who I'm talking to. Like if it's somebody big or I'm really excited about. The Zoom ones I've been doing recently have been a little nerve-wracking with like I've had some people or like some companies reach out to like, hey, can you review, this person's film? They're gonna, you could talk to them, interview them, whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then sometimes I find out it's like a bigger person, and I'm like, oh, I'm talking to JWoww. Okay, I didn't realize that. Or I'm talking to, there's something about, like those, like the bigger press junket interviews where they have like the really nice backdrop, they're in a studio somewhere
Sure.
for like hours and they just keep doing Zoom. I had one of those and I was absolutely terrified. Also, it went terrible. I don't care. They were very nice, but they gave me nothing. I think they were tired. And I was like, this is supposed to be like a 30-minute interview. We got done in like 10 minutes. And I was like, well, you answered everything I had. That's it.
Oh, for JWoww or someone else?
No, JWoww was an absolute delight. And I could have
Yeah, she was cool. I listened to that episode and yeah,
she was hilarious. And she was also really nervous.
I feel very privileged and honored right now, but also nervous.
Back at you. Don't be nervous. I'm nervous too. It's all good. We can be nervous together. It'll be great. Okay. And I was like, well, I'm scared of you. Like, I didn't watch Jersey Shore because you guys scared the shit out of me. Like, which, I mean, is great. They're awesome. She's the nicest. She's so nice. But it's, don't really get nervous. Otherwise, I always take notes on the movie. I used to take like in-depth, like beat by beat notes.
Same.
But like, there's so many podcasts that do that. It's not sustainable for me. It gets boring for my brain. I know that some people worked out, and I love that, and that's great, and they can do that. But for me, it doesn't work. So I just take things on like things that I find funny, things that I find weird. That's what I make note of, and we like generally talk about the movie, and then I write down questions that come up that are interesting and fun, that are both movie based and about, the comic or whoever I'm talking to. So try to keep that interesting, and a lot of like doing jumping jacks, getting ready, especially when it's in person. I'm like, I gotta get the energy up. I shoot like 4 to 5 in a row. So I'm like, let's go. And they're each like an hour long. So I'm just knocking them out. I'm like, Did you get in your jumping jacks before this one? No, I was, no, I can't, because again, I tweaked my neck, so I shouldn't be moving at all. I should actually be laying, I think I took a nap. Honestly, I was horizontal. So.
Yeah.
That's what I do to prep. How about you? What do you do to prep?
By the way, we're recording. I don't know, like, when I'm going to start, how the edit goes, but I'm trying something new. Usually I say like, hey, welcome to the Spook House. And I was just thinking earlier, like, well, they know what they're watching. They clicked on it.
Bring in the banter first, and then be like, now here's the show here.
Yeah.
If you're tuning in for the first time, you're probably wondering what this is. If you know what it is, what's up, what it do. What up? or when in doubt, if you got a Patreon, this is the perfect Patreon part where you just don't edit anything, and you just, it's the unedited extended cut. You just don't do anything, and you put it, whatever it is.
Not yet. I'm not I'm technically on Patreon, but it's been sort of abandoned. The plan forever has been to revamp it, but more footage of my cat. Get the extended Cutie Pie edition.
Hell yeah. Also, your setup is sick.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Try to spruce up the joint a little bit. This is just my living room back here. Lots of lights. Like, to set all this up, it's sort of a production. I'm like, okay, well, let me see how this looks. And
a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just moved in October and I'm still figuring out everything. But the first thing I did was like my media setup. Like this is all my DVDs and my VHS. And, I try to make this corner like, okay, every time I do like a Zoom interview, I'm like, okay, I'm going to be in this corner. I'm going to put this plant here to make it look different. And I'll put this picture here. So this has kind of been my,
yeah, I'm
sitting on the floor. So that's that's where we're at. Everything else is like, I have no furniture. It's just this portion. It's all I need. That's all I need.
So you're in LA, right?
Yes.
Okay. Originally from Wisconsin.
Yes, I am.
When did you make the leap and move to LA?
It's been about 4 years ish. I did a study abroad from Chicago. I know, shocking. But I went to school in Chicago and they had a program that was like, oh, go intern in LA. So went and did that during 2020. And then COVID hit, yikes, and then was sent home and graduated from my parents' basement and then got a job in November and started working with, I had to be out there within 4 days. So I found a place to live, got a car and everything out here for like 2 weeks and then drove across the U.S. to officially live here, and I've been here ever since.
Are you going back to Wisconsin for Christmas?
Oh yeah. Derry.
Oh.
You gotta go for it there.
Hey, go Packers.
To be fair, it's more Minnesota that talks like that.
Yeah, sorry. I don't want to.
It's okay. No, you didn't offend. It's just it's a common misconception. Hey, I get it. It's a fun accent to get into, and I talk like that all the time just for fun. But yeah, going back home. How about you? Where are you from originally?
I am in Raleigh, North Carolina, but I grew up just like an hour east of here.
Okay.
So yeah, very country, as I'm sure you can pick up on. It's kind of like there's different shades of redneck. I know I sound country as fuck, but I know people that sound like a banjo when they talk. There's different levels to it.
Yeah. So, I mean, hey, banjos are cool. I went to, where the hell did I go? Charleston this summer.
Oh, yeah.
For the first time, and absolutely amazing. So fun.
Charleston's great.
Charleston was great. The history is so interesting, and
good food.
Shark teeth. I went shark tooth hunting. That was the highlight, honestly. That I got chased by police there because of shark tooth hunting. That was crazy. That was absolutely crazy. And I was like, wow, who would have thought?
Were you encroaching on someone's shark turf?
No, my friend is a marine biologist, and she knew a spot that used to be public, but now is owned by the government. And we went on the cover of night because they drudge the ocean and then would dump everything. And it had just rained. So all the shark teeth and all the cool shells are just right sitting on top. So you can just literally look and pick them. But it's known for megalodon teeth. And I really wanted a megalodon. I was like, I'm not leaving here without a megalodon tooth. She gave me options. She's like, okay, it's our final night. Do you want to go see, baby sea turtles? Or do you want to do, something that could get us arrested? We have to go at the cover of night in all black. And I was like,
sounds exciting.
You had me at shark teeth. Let's go. I want more.
Yeah.
But then I ended up dropping half of them. So, because we were being chased again, and they fell out of my pocket. But for next time, I know to bring a Ziploc bag to keep them safe.
Nice.
But,
shark tip.
Yes, that's a hot tip for those kids out there. If you're running from the police, make sure your shark teeth are locked up because they will fall out of your pockets.
Gotta secure them.
And you will be sad. I literally am still sad, and it's been months since this happened. And I think about it a lot. I'm like, fuck, you could have had a bunch of big and I got so many. It was awesome. But
yeah, if anybody has a shark tooth connection, hit up Katie.
Hit me up.
By the way, I don't know if I said, but this is Katie Afraidy from the Katie Afraidy podcast. Or Katie, how do you pronounce your last name? Hettenbach?
Hettenbach, yeah.
Hettenbach,
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. That's me. Hello, everyone.
So, you started working at the Comedy Store, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, and your podcast started as Horror at the Store.
Mm-hmm.
So, how did it evolve into Katie Afraidy?
Yeah, so basically, I got laid off from the Comedy Store, and my original producer, John, reached out to Fangoria, and they were interested. Originally, it was in talks to have Josh Rubin be my co-host, but he's off filming big things, being big celebrity man. And I was like, no problem. Sad because I love him. He's amazing. But we were chatting on the way home from some con that we went to. And, as one does, you shoot the shit. We're being loopy. He starts being like, oh, like, what should we call this new podcast? Because we're really thinking, we're like, Horror at the Store. Like, it could be, like, I could literally name it anything, which is, it's a lot. I don't know what to name things. I'm bad at naming things. And he's like, oh, Katie Afraidy. And we start like joking. We're like, oh, Katie on skaties, Katie debatey. Are you afraidy or not afraidy? And then we start being like, no, this is actually really good.
Yeah, it's a great name.
It's the amount of people who I hop on for the first time with Zoom, and they're like, the first thing they say is, first of all, the name of the podcast, fucking fantastic. And I'm like, thank you. It's the greatest thing, but also the bane of my existence. Because now that's in comedy. They go, Katie Afraidy. And I'm like, no, it's not. That's my podcast, but that's not me. But I love that. It's me. So yeah, that's how it evolved. And it's been an amazing journey ever since. But yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I was digging through the catalog, listening to some back episodes, and I was like, holy shit, Anthony Jeselnik?
Yeah.
That's wild. Yeah. Anthony Jeselnik is talking about Martyrs?
It's his favorite movie. He asked to do the podcast, which first of all, he's one of my favorite comics.
Yeah, I just watched his new special yesterday.
Bones and All. That's
fantastic.
So good. So he's a shark. Honestly, sharks. He's a shark in movies.
Such a pro.
Not in movies, in like he just glides, and he's just so particular, and it's amazing. He's so smart. But he's also a huge horror fan, and that's the one. It took me a while to get comfortable with. That's when I was still pretty new to the podcast and like having, bigger comics on. And I was terrified because I love him so much. Anytime he would stop speaking, I would forget what I was saying. And I would get like lost in his eyes. And first of all, he's gorgeous. I was like, and I apparently wasn't as bad, but I literally was so mad at myself afterwards. I was like, you were supposed to ask so many other things and you just didn't. You just blacked out. You couldn't remember the movie you just watched.
No, it's okay. I thought it was a good episode.
That's good. I've talked to a couple of people about this where they're like, yeah, I thought I bombed that. I'm like, it's never as bad as you think it is. It's never,
sure.
It's always worse in your eyes than it is other people. So I'm like, okay, if other people say it's fine, then it's fine. And you know what? I did it. I'm proud of it. It's hilarious. It's on the internet. He made fun of me, and it's, I have that forever. So
yeah, I could see him being like kind of an intimidating figure.
Yeah, but he's
I feel like he could just evaporate me with words, and there's nothing I could do about it.
Yeah, no. When he said, because I made a face. I'm very emotive. He was like, "Oh, is that your remembering face?" I like beat red. When that didn't show, I was like, "What did I just do with my face?" I was like, "Shit, he's not gonna fall in love with me." Oh no, what did I do? What did I do? But he's another comic who was on the podcast. She was like, "Yeah, we were talking about you," and I was like, "You were?" And he was like, "Yeah, she was so nice. I didn't want to make fun of her." And I was like, "Aw, you coward, you coward." But you know what? I would love to have him back on at some point. He was an absolute delight, and it would be good to, like, now that I have more confidence under my belt with interviewing, and especially interviewing people who are sharp and snippy with like they're quick-witted.
Right.
I feel like I'm a lot better at handling them. I think it would be even like, it would just blow the first one out of the water.
So how long have you been doing stand-up?
It's been about 5 years, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think that doing stand-up comedy helps your podcasting and vice versa? I guess you have to be able to think on the feet on both.
Yeah. I think that's a different tool for sure. I think they're both helpful, but I've been doing stand-up for 3 years when I started the podcast, and I was shit. If you listen to the first couple episodes, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. They're terrible. They're so bad. They're so bad. But I also, like, I didn't know. I'm not a big podcast person. I have to watch them. I like to see the people who are talking, which, not everybody has a video, aspect to their podcast, which is fine. But it's harder for me to, focus when I see them. I want to be there. I want to connect. I want to see the eye, and, but I lost my train of thought. Where'd it go? Yeah, no, it's been fun. So
Yeah. Speaking of having the video element, help me sort of settle it's not really a debate, but I had a friend reach out recently. He has a podcast, audio only.
Okay.
And he was kind of asking for some advice. And I was like, I feel like 5-10 years ago, you could maybe get by just doing audio only. But I almost feel like you have to have video. I mean, you don't have to, but
unless you're the only person who survives without video is the Mark Maron podcast, and even he's struggling, but he pulls huge names.
Right.
But yeah,
if you get Obama on your podcast, it's going to get some downloads.
Yeah, I would, it's nice to have a face to who's talking. And it's just nice. And you can reach more people. So it's not just like, oh, I'm just going to have it on, Spotify and Apple Podcasts. I can now have it on YouTube. I can put, clips on Instagram or TikTok or Twitter or whatever.
Right.
And actually,
yeah, because I discover new podcasts or new YouTube channels all the time just by scrolling, and I'm like, oh, that's a catchy thumbnail and I like that topic. Yeah, I'll check this out. But I can't remember the last time I got on Spotify and searched horror movie podcast, and I'm like, oh, you're just picking in the dark.
Yeah.
So I feel like it kind of hurts. Sorry for all the inside baseball talk. I know might be very boring for a lot of people. They're like, get to the next topic.
Yeah, 30 seconds. You're fine.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of a crucial element today.
Yeah.
But
I agree. Yeah. I've done that a handful of times because there are times when I'm like, I used to babysit but this 6 month, no, it wasn't even 6 months. Yeah, I think it was 6 month old. And I would be there for like 9 hours. And it was so boring. And I was like, I need something to pass the time. I don't like kids. I'm sorry. They're cute, but I'm like, don't get away from me. It's fine. Some of them are cool. I don't know. That one was not. And the parents were weird. But I would have an AirPod in the whole time and I'd switch them off. But I would just do pods all the time. I would like every day I would put a new one and I would just find horror podcasts. And the one that I gravitated towards, I think, is a audio only one, but that one has like a huge following. And I was like, okay, he's British. And I was like, I love your voice. It's also about the voice. Cause sometimes I'll try a podcast and then I'm like, you seem great, but your voice is awful. And if it is, you can't control that. And that's, you know what, someone's going to say that about me too. And that is A-okay. There are billions of podcasts and there's going to be one that you find that's going to be yours. And I love that for you. And if it's not ours, that's okay. But
I'm that way with audiobooks. Like recently I got into, I'm in my audiobook phase. I don't know why, but it's my jam now. I fall asleep to them. But if the narrator, it could be the slightest weird little thing, but if I'm not vibing, I'm like, I don't care how good this book is. I can't spend 16 hours with you. I can't have you reading me to sleep every night. Sorry.
Yeah, it's not. It's also like there's my mom would the reason I think I don't like the audio part of it is that as a kid, my mom would, every time we were in the car, would put on NPR, and I would get car sick every single time. So it's like I hear the all like the mouth sound, and I'm like, I hate it. I don't want to hear it. So
I'm always like so self-conscious about that. Like, oh my God, is my gain too high? Actually, side note, I'm slightly worried that is now. I'm like, I don't want my mouth sounds to be entering into people's brains. So I apologize if it is. But yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah. So.
So when you're back in Wisconsin, are you going to go see Nosferatu?
Yes,
You're going to like open presents and, hey, mom and dad, I got to head out.
I think we're all going to go as a family, actually.
Oh.
My mom and my dad aren't really big horror fans, but every year we go to a movie on the Jolly Holidays. So I'm like, hey, this should be the movie. It'll be great. I talked to one of my friends who is doing press on the movie. I just talked to him today, and he's like, yeah, if you do that, just know like there's a lot of sex scenes, like it's really uncomfortable. I'm like, I saw Poor Things sitting next to my dad. I think I'll be fine. I was like, I'm gonna walk into traffic. Like, this is awful. It was.
Yeah, there's a lot of fucking in that movie.
Yeah.
It was so good though.
It was really good. That part I was like, I don't.
What part?
There's
several.
That's why I said part. I was like parts. I was like, I shouldn't be here anymore. Yeah. I don't want to be around anymore. You know, at that point I was like, I want to leave. So, but yeah, it was fun.
So,
are you going to see it?
Oh, for sure. I will be in Florida for Christmas.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely. I mean, that's like, I've been looking forward to that one all year. I'm like, oh, Nosferatu, end of the year. Can't fucking wait. I saw that they did like, there was something at Hollywood Forever Cemetery, this big Nosferatu event. See, you guys get so much cool shit. You don't even realize it.
No, here's the thing is that there's so much going on in LA, but there's also not a damn thing happening in LA. And that's just, I have no idea what you're talking. I have literally not heard a single thing about that, but I love that. I'm so glad that people went. and good for them.
Yeah, it says Nosferatu, the immersive experience.
You get to die. Yay. They're going to drag you into a coffin, have someone randomly bite you, and it'll be fun.
It's a 3-night live experience that will transport guests into the gothic ambiance of the film. Ooh.
A 3-night experience. Like you
screen used props, occult artifacts, relics, and costumes.
What the fuck? You're gonna.
You gotta go to that.
You're gonna have to DM me that. Okay. I'll check it out. That sounds insane. Sure, why not? LA's weird. There's weird shit happening all the time. It's weird. They have this thing every year in the Hollywood Forever Cemetery, which is like where all the celebrities are buried, but it's also like other people are buried there, just normal people. But it is packed. It is a packed cemetery. Like people are on top of each other. But they have like screenings there. They have concerts there. It's so fun, and you can just go walk around and hang out. And you can get food and just sit. And it's so weird, but it's great. It's great.
Yeah, that's cool. You guys are always having cool shit out there. I actually flew out to LA last year for the Halloween 45-year anniversary.
Hell yeah.
It's like the 3-day convention. But have you seen this, Katie? Check this out. It's the Nosferatu replica sarcophagus bed. You can buy this from NBC for the low price of $20,000.
Who the fuck's buying that?
Or $1,800 a month.
Oh, so that's more than I pay in rent.
Handcrafted from premium materials, including a wooden base with intricate carvings.
Why? Who's buying that? Look, I love horror fans, but who's buying that?
Look, if somebody wants to give me this, I will be ecstatic.
Also, specifically from the NBC Universal shop. Like, why would you? I would get if you're like, okay, I love this movie. I'm going to have somebody make this for me. But buying it specifically, like, they have to ship this to you.
Yeah.
Like, that's weird. Like, that's crazy. I don't know. It's just, like, they probably have a handful of them made.
There's only 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
for that much, they better ship it on a dark and stormy night in a hearse.
Literally.
And when you open it, Bill Skarsgård and Robert Eggers are inside, and they're like, hey, we're best friends now.
Here we go.
Let's hang out.
Why not? Sure. Yeah.
$20,000. That's crazy.
I'm okay. I'm going to pass on that one. That's a big thank you so much, but no thank you,
Yeah, but again, if somebody wants to give me one.
I don't know where I'm going to put it.
Sure.
Where are you going to put it? I
sleep on it. It's a bed.
You sleep in it. It's a sarcophagus. Like, you have to get in it. It's a twin.
I don't know how the entry and exit of the sarcophagus works.
Do they have a bigger one, like a queen size or something?
Yeah. Well, what's up with that
I need to be able to move. I can't.
What's up with that California King sarcophagus?
Right? I need that. I don't want like a small one. Like that's too. Yeah, no, that's not for me. But again. Hey, if any of you guys buy it, you tag us below. You let us know.
A twin bed? What am I, fucking 6? Come on.
Yeah, what are you, 5 years old? But also
$20,000 here.
$20,000 for a twin bed. Is it worth it? It better be the best damn twin bed I've ever slept on.
Dude. Somebody's gonna buy one, and I look forward to the unboxing video.
The review of the bed. Yeah,
I feel like
last night someone's gonna get trapped. Someone's gonna get trapped in it, and they're not gonna be able to get the top off because it's gonna be it's gonna be real. It's gonna be so fucking heavy, and they're gonna get stuck, and then they're gonna suffocate and die. That's how it's gonna go. I don't want anyone to die. Don't buy that.
Some content creators gonna be like, okay, this is gonna get a lot of traction if I review the Nosferatu bed.
Do it. Sure. Go ahead.
Yeah. Who's like who's
There's
the
so many-
horror Mr. Beast?
Yeah.
Who's like the top dog?
I don't think I have just started learning people's names and who people are. So I'm the worst person to ask.
You got those Fangoria connections. They're like the New York Times of horror.
They are. They are. They are. Oh god.
So it's been a good year for horror movies. What have been some of your favorites?
We were talking about this at a different podcast. I forget who it was, but I forgot to say my all-time favorite of this year, and that was Strange Darling.
Oh, okay.
I forgot about that movie, and I think that might have been the best movie and the best horror movie that I watched this year.
I just watched that for the first time like a week ago.
Yeah, I think it's clever. I think it's fun. I think I mean, you kind of know what's going to happen, but it still surprises you. And I think it's shot. It's just a good, I think it's just a good movie. And it's something that I definitely can watch again. Whereas like some of these, I'm like, I don't need to see Long Legs again. I don't need to see Oddity. I don't need to see Harry. Like, I don't need to see this again.
Oh man, Oddity, that was a banger. I watched that one a few times. Yeah, I loved it.
Okay, I love that. Can I ask why you liked it?
It gave me a vibe of like a horror anthology I would have seen in like the 90s, like The Tale of the Wooden Dude.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. I just really enjoyed it. Like the last 15 minutes when it's sort of revealed what actually happened, it kind of loses me a bit.
Yeah.
But I like it.
A lot of the movies this year I felt like start off really, really strong, and then I feel like they just add too much to try to be scary. Like Oddity, I felt like was really strong, and like the beginning, I was like, "Whoa, okay, I'm terrified. Let's go!" Especially with like the tense scene with the face.
Yes.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
And then they just kept adding more of like, oh, it's this person. Actually, it's a ghost. Actually, it's a wooden guy. Wait, now the wooden guy's running. And as soon as the wooden guy got up, I was like, and you lost me. And you lost. I'm gone.
I love that part. It kind of lost. Well, I don't want to give away spoilers, but when
skip 30 seconds.
When you find out who did the thing, that's when I was like, oh, that guy, yeah, that's a little obvious. And and I wanted to see the wooden guy beat the shit out of him, or I don't know, maybe give a nice one-liner, then kill him.
Yeah. It took me out of it. And but a lot of people were like, this is such a good movie. And there are I think it is a solid premise. I think, like, again, they opened up really, really strong. It's just some of these movies just didn't finish as strong as they started. And like you even said, like the last like 15, weren't good. It's like you need to have a solid beginning and a solid end. Middle part is where you can get wonky, but you have to take off well and land well. You can have a bumpy ride, but you need to have those two solid organs.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can have a little turbulence, but you gotta nail that landing.
Yeah. Long Legs, same thing though. Same thing. You didn't
like the ending? What part specifically? Was it the orbs in the head with the black devil smoke coming out or whatever?
So again, beginning part, absolutely terrifying. The pacing of, okay, we don't know what he looks like. We're only seeing him,
Great opening.
What happens if
the terrifying scene of I forget the characters' names. The main character goes in the house with her partner, and he gets shot, and she has to like run through the house. that part was terrifying. Suspense, loved that.
Yeah.
It fell off after they went to her house / cabin in the woods, and long way.
Oh, wow. So
After that part, I felt like they just kept trying to add stuff. Like they're like, oh, it's mom. Oh, it's a ghost. Oh, it's not a ghost. It's the devil. No, it's actually this weird orb thing. Oh, it's him. No, it's not him. And I think it would have been scarier if it was just, Nicolas Cage. He's just so good at talking to people that he can manipulate them into killing other people and killing themselves. Like I think that's scarier than being like, yeah, they got these creepy dolls and they control people. And there's this hope. I think that would have been a lot scarier because
like keep it grounded.
Yeah, and I understand like wanting to do everything and be like, oh, what if we added this? But it just had such a solid start, and I just was really, I want to be terrified. I want to sleep with the lights on, and I have not had that in forever. So it's and I am a harsh critic for sure, but I'm also like, I'm a filmmaker myself. Like I can, pull back and be like, okay, what, how did they do this? How did they do that? So that's kind of, it took me out of it. And I was then more thinking about how they made the movie versus actually watching the movie, which is not what, they intend, but that's what happened. So
has there been anything that made you sleep with the lights on? What's the last movie that like fucking terrified you? Doesn't have to be this year.
No, it's not this year. There's nothing this year that's like that. The only thing that has made me sleep with the lights on, and that's because I'm not afraid of the dark. I'm afraid of what's in the dark. So Lights Out, while it might not be a good movie, like an amazing movie, it's
got a good gimmick. I like the gimmick.
To imagine something there in the dark that you can't see. It's that thing of like, I talk about this all the time, the Hereditary effect, where you have, like, you've seen Hereditary, where they have, the sons in the bed, and you just slowly see Annie in the corner, like, she's just there.
Yeah, I like when a scene just sort of lets you sit with the tension.
Yeah.
And you can't move. It's like, no, we're staying here for a while.
Yeah, but also not having them jump, just having her sit there in the corner. But it takes like 10 to 15 seconds for your eyes to adjust to see her. And it's that thing of, when you were a kid, like you stare at like, your coat jacket for too long and you're like, that's a hand in the closet. Yeah. And I've, thankfully, but also this has been hell, having an active imagination. And I not that I see, this sounds like I hallucinate. No, but just like your eyes play tricks on you. And,
sure.
It's spooky. The dark is spooky, but it's also where magic happens.
Hey.
And that's awesome.
In the Nosferatu sarcophagus bed.
Exactly.
Turn out the lights and shut the lid.
And say goodbye forever. That's all you need. That's all you need. So spooky.
Did you like Cuckoo? Thought it was okay.
I didn't know what I just watched after. I was like, I don't know how I feel about it. I think I liked it. I think I remember posting like, I think I like it, ? Was that fun ? Ask me in a few days ? I don't know. It was good, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what it was. It kind of did a lot, but I was just it looked pretty. So
sure. Had Dan Stevens in it. That's always a plus.
He's pretty. So it's like that was fun. I think I enjoyed. I don't know if I enjoyed myself during that movie, but I think it was fun. I don't know.
Yeah, during the last 10 minutes of it, I remember thinking to myself, am I the dumbass? And everyone around me gets this. Mm-hmm. And I started feeling like, Well, first of all, I was like, how the fuck am I going to talk about this on the podcast? I don't know what I'm watching.
Yeah, there's times where I'm like, I don't need to cover this one. I don't need to do this one. Like, I'm like, this sucked. Or like this, I'm confused by it. I've eventually I will cover Mandy, but
Oh God, love that movie.
I don't, my brain doesn't comprehend it. I've watched breakdowns of it. I've watched it a handful of times and I don't get it. I don't know what's happening. And I sit there and I watch it. Like, I don't go on my phone and I still am confused. So that's going to be a hard one for me to talk about, but I know that my friend who wants to do that episode, he will take the reins on that episode. I'll be like, I'm going to let you go because you're the expert. I'm just here. I'll just moderate. So
yeah, it's hard to talk about like a visual heavy movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that movie is just, you just have to watch it.
Yeah, it's also like when you're talking with, at least for my podcast, with comics and stuff, like I want to talk about something that's like funny and that we can like, make like have it be funny and like, make it interesting versus that one. It's like, not like there's a lot of stuff happens, but it's like not stuff that I don't know. It's like, oh, I can quote this or I can, it's not the same. But
yeah, I think that's why I don't think I've ever done a full episode on Hereditary. I mean, we've brought it up many times because it's one of my favorite movies of all time. But yeah, how do you make that fun?
That movie's fucking hilarious. What are you talking about? That movie's hilarious. That movie's a comedy. It was great. Yeah, she's banging her head against the wall. It's fucking hilarious. Well, upstairs. Oh, sorry, just chopping my head off real quick. I'm fine. Hilarious. It's good. That's such a fun movie. But
family trauma, am I right?
we love it. Another one that I thought was very fun. This was like such a fun movie. Abigail. Very fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Also, our boy Dan Stevens.
Our boy Dan
Crushing
Stevens,
it.
right? Absolutely crushed it. It was just fun. It was so fun. It was the blood cannons, hilarious. Matt and Tyler Radio Silence, they just do such a fun job with that. And you could tell they had fun on set. Everybody was having fun. And it's just they're just smart guys and they make fun movies. And it was so fun. And I think I saw it like 5 times. I was like, who wants to go? Like, I'll go see this. I was like, this is fun. It was fun and also fun to see people's reactions. Like, you knew it was coming, but you didn't know like how it was going to come or like, it was just exciting. And I'm a sucker for a good end credit song, and Burn My Tongue is so freaking good. It's a Gene Dawson song that was made specifically for the movie. Just when you hear it, it goes off. It's very, very good. And I don't know, again, some movies just drop the ball when it comes to a credit song. Like they do, the one that I bring up that it made me so mad. The Boogeyman, what was it, a year ago that it came out, the Boogeyman, and they played Mr. Sandman. And I was like, good song. I love Sandman, but you have
kind of done to death at this point.
Yeah, you have Boogie Monster, Gnarls Barkley. You have the Boogeyman by the Jackson 5. There's like a 1920s like, oh, the Boogeyman, the terrible, horrible, which would have been so much better. Would have been like, oh, I want to stay for the credits. This song is fun, but it's like you're Sandman. And you're like, I've heard this song, so let's go. So it's just
that's the wrong man.
Yeah, right. Just get creative with it. Don't just leave the credit song hanging. I'm writing a feature right now and I already know I have like 2 songs. I'm like, these songs will be the ending. I can see it. It can go either way, but these 2 songs, we have to get them in at somehow because it's just you want to leave them with whatever feeling you're trying to give. And it's
right. What songs?
One of my friends, she is a singer and has a song called Serial Killer. And then this one might be a little bit more of a stretch. Oh shoot, what is it called? What is it? It's Evil Woman. The Evil Woman.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh, I like this song. I was like, this could also work. I don't know how the fuck we would get that song, but you know what?
Yeah, it might be a little pricey.
I'm dreaming big. Maybe they take pity on me. They go, she's poor. Let's help her.
Any TV shows you've been binging this year? I just finished Yellow Jackets the other day.
Good.
Fucking great.
Okay.
Incredible.
I struggle with TV. I struggle to watch TV.
It's rare that I binge a TV show.
Yeah. I re-watched a lot of horror TV shows this year. Because I always do at least like once a year. I try to around October. I watch American Horror Story 1984. Because I love a slasher. I love a camp slasher. I watch Scream Queens. I love Scream Queens. And people hate shit on me for this, and I don't care. I love it. The Scream TV series.
I knew you were going to say that.
I love it, and I will defend it for the rest of my life. It is...
I have never seen it.
It's very... You know what? It's a soap opera. It's fun. It's not the story you know. And it's a TV show, and it has to, and they acknowledge that, and I think it's fun. And I remember when it came out, and I was absolutely terrified. So, and it's very fun. I really enjoy it. Third season, they decided to completely take the characters that we knew and loved, and just got a completely new cast and a new storyline. And I was like, why did you should have done this every season then.
Right.
You know, have the season be like do it like American Horror Story, where it's like, oh, Ghostface, or like, you know, this one's called Brandon James, you know, so Brandon James, you know, or whatever is in a different town, or it's like a different sub genre of Scream. And I think that would have been interesting. And then it could have kept going, but they just killed it so quick. That third season's rough, but it's also they were trying to pump in more diversity because the main cast was predominantly white. But the problem is they kept killing off all the people of color and all of like I was like, you're killing the diversity off. Stop doing that. Just kill off the white people. Come on. I was like, you're doing this to yourself. But they're like, nah, let's just get rid of everybody and start from scratch. And I was like, or you could write people who don't die, and then keep the people that we love, but like integrate new people in and have them actually live, and have some people that we love die, and then make the new people that we love, you know, so it's just silly. So
maybe I will check it out.
It's very fun. It's not, I don't know if it's on any streaming service. I've been illegally streaming things.
Yeah, it was MTV show.
Yes. When MTV actually made shows.
Yeah, that was during the Jersey Shore days.
Mm-hmm. It was fun. Yeah, before every episode, they have a little MTV logo, and they have a little intro, and it rocks. Absolutely rocks. But yeah, those are the main things I watch.
Have you ever watched Downton Abbey?
No, God, no.
Dan Stevens is in the first 2 seasons,
okay.
maybe 3. Okay. He's phenomenal in it.
Okay.
But I never thought I would say this, but I'm hooked on the Downton Abbey. I love it.
Okay.
My lady.
It seems slow. Is it slow?
Not really. I was surprised. Like you get hooked pretty quick. It's all about the drama.
Okay.
In this house. It's just good. I mean,
that's all.
Yeah. Usually that's sort of like, oh, my lord and my lady, your lordship. I'm usually like, no thanks.
Yeah.
I only checked it out for Dan Stevens. I was like, son of a bitch, I'm in.
You're like, I got a man crush. It's okay. It's
maybe a little bit.
He's awesome. That's okay.
Is that so wrong?
It's not. It's Dan Stevens. He's an icon. We love him. He's a gem.
Shout out to Dan Stevens.
He's a big fan of the pod. He listens every day.
Come on the podcast, Dan. Big fan. Come hang out on my Nosferatu bed. We'll kick it. Just talk about your amazing career.
I'm on my twin bed. Come hang out on my twin bed in a sarcophagus. Thoughts?
Yeah, my fucking race car bed.
I mean, whatever floats your goat. You gotta do what you gotta do.
So, is there anything you are really stoked about next year? Like any big movies?
I don't know anything that's coming out.
So you got the Monkey, the new Osgood Perkins movie.
Oh yeah, that one looks interesting.
Yeah, that one looks fun.
It'll be fun or terrible. I'm excited to see what he does next.
You have Megan 2.0.
No more Megan.
Seriously? Hey, I definitely saw a clip of you dressed up as Megan.
I know. I hate Megan. First of all, I hated the movie. I didn't like it at all.
I can't say it's a great movie, but there was something about it where I did have fun watching it.
No, it's definitely fun. It's just I hate her so much. It's a love-hate. She's gotten me a lot of success with the stand-up and stuff, but man, oh man, it was not, I was like, oh, I don't want to do Megan. And like, you should do Megan. I was like, fuck, I'll buy a Megan costume and I'll do it.
I mean, you pulled it off flawlessly.
Yeah, I crush it. It's this is why I keep doing it, because I keep crushing. I'm just so funny. And I can't. They just are like, you got to keep doing it. So
well, showbiz, baby.
When I stop being funny, maybe we'll like it, you know. So it's tough. It's tough.
So what you're saying is you're never stopping.
What's your name? Yes. I would love to try something, but yeah, I didn't. Okay, so Megan's coming out. What else? What else is coming out?
Scream 8, I believe.
7.
Oh wait, 7.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's so many of those now. Yeah, Scream 7. Or at least they're shooting it like next month. So I'm assuming it'll be out next year.
Okay. I mean, I'll go see it. I'm not going to be happy about it, but I'll go see it.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see where they go from here after the clusterfuck of a situation with everything that happened.
Yeah, which is just so unfortunate. Such bullshit. But, you know, and I talked to Matt and Tyler about it, and they're like, yeah, you know, everyone's like, oh, Sam and Tara's story isn't wrapped up. And they're like, yeah, every script you write, have that be the full story, because you don't know if you're going to get a sequel. And so their story is wrapped up. But, you know, it would have been nice to have like a trilogy of just them, so that could be like a standalone thing as well.
Sure. I
also think it needs to die. I love Scream to death, but I think it needs to be over. And they're going to keep making them, and they're going to be shit. And I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping, you know, with Kevin Williamson directing and back on board, like that would be really cool. If it, you know, I'm hoping for the best with it, but it's also like people are already boycotting the film because of everything that happened, and well,
people say that.
Yeah,
they say that on Instagram, but you know,
I mean,
they're gonna be there.
You know, I'll be there because I'm a Scream fan, but I won't be happy about it. But you know, it's seeing a Scream movie in theaters. There's something really powerful about that, and
yeah,
those have actually given me like the most, seeing those movies, like anxiety in the theater. And I was like, oh, okay, this is that. I want this feeling again and again and again. Like, this is cool. So, which is why I saw Scream 5 like 10 times in theaters. Which is excessive. That was the last time I saw it. It was the final showing, and I was the only person in the theater. And,
what was your first Scream movie theater experience?
Scream 5. I'm
trying to like place your age range.
I'm 26.
26. Okay.
I'm 26. I Scream 5. So I went to the Chinese theater. I had just gotten my ears. I got my triples of my ears pierced. I made it a whole day. I got my ears pierced. I went and I found a parking spot. I got popcorn. I got a soda, and it was a 4D, or I don't know, like the chairs moved, and I was like, I'm turning this off. Like I could feel this. I was like, absolutely not. I'm not doing this. But
hey, 1 second, Katie. My cat is.
I love it.
Scratching around in her litter box. She's just like having a party over here. Hey, go. Okay, you're very cute. Just trying to do some business here.
I love it. You're good. But yeah.
I've yet to do the 4D moving seat things.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. You got to be prepared for it. If you can't handle motion, it's a lot. So
I heard the one for Twisters was like
absolutely crazy,
nausea inducing.
Yeah. It's. I mean, you can't have popcorn. You can't have a drink. It's like it will go everywhere. It's just it's. And you think it's like a joke, like, oh, you're gonna spill your stuff. Like you will. It just jerks around, and it's not. It's fun though. It's very fun. You just have to be prepared for it. But I saw Alien Romulus with 4DX. And that I think enhanced the movie a lot. A lot of people hated it, but it made it so much creepier. And like I'm assuming you've watched it. The tall man baby thing.
Yeah.
Revealed. They also put smoke in the theater, so it was absolutely terrifying and great.
That's cool.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was okay.
Yeah, it was fine. But seeing 4DX like made it cooler.
Yeah, for sure. So what do you have coming up on the podcast? What are your 2025 plans?
There are none.
Yeah, that's a weird question. I don't have any either.
Okay. I mean, I forget who I was talking to. There's another podcast who like is booked out to like May of next year. And I was like, are you okay? They're like, yeah, I have that many episodes like already shot. I'm like, why? Don't do you're stressing me out. I don't even have like a week.
Are they like on a network also?
I don't know. Probably. I don't even remember who it was. I forget. It's
right.
I'm bad at names. But
there's so few horror podcasts out there. What do you mean?
But yeah, so that's a whole.
There's not enough.
Not enough. We need more. Honestly, everybody in the comments, stop listening to this one. Go make your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
go get your own.
But yeah, make sure you sub and like before you do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, the goal, I am hoping to be back doing in-person interviews and having a studio and stuff, but all my stuff is, my entire set is at a storage facility that the guy keeps saying, I'm in the woods. And I'm like, get out of the woods. Give it to me. It's mine.
Huh. Okay.
You know, it's, we must have all get that back. It's just stressful because that's a lot of money, but it'll be fun. And if it's not,
so the guy that owns the storage facility is
no, it's. I'm gonna keep it vague to be vague. I'm gonna say that. Just because they're all horror related people. So
I got you. Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. I have no hard feelings. I just said like, can I have my stuff back, please, so I can film and stuff, please. Thank you.
Well, hey, you can make your own little studio there.
The thing is that the people that I have on, like, I don't want to have like, you know, big comics and shit come into my apartment, you know? Sure. Yeah. And it's like, I need to have a professional separate space, which I found one. I gotta get everything back before I can, you know.
So I've always been curious about this. So since you're under the Fangoria banner, are they like, hey, here's this person we want you to interview? So are they like bringing people to you, or how's that work?
It's pretty much just me. It's everybody that I know, and it's me reaching out to people. They are more, they're amazing, but they're very hands off, which is fine. So it's, it's more of like a brand, like I'm under them, but we we work, we cohabitate.
Sure.
But, sometimes they'll shoot me people and be like, hey, there's this thing, go do that. I'm like, cool. But it's the majority of the people I have booked. Honestly, no, I'm going to say everybody I've booked myself, or my producer has, or a third party has reached out. But yeah, it's mostly been me, which I'm really proud of. I didn't think I was going to be able to do all this by myself, so I'm really proud of what I've been able to accomplish. With just a couple emails, be like, hey, you would love to chat with so and so about horror movies. So
yeah, I would say 90% of the time I do that. I'm just shooting out emails. It's like no response. I'm like, all right, cool.
It happens.
But hey, I get it. I'm just some jabroni in North Carolina. Just
oh my god, it's part of the fun, and then it's like until you have like a brand name or like are big, it's hard to get the people to believe in you and be willing to chat with you and take a chance. But some people you'd be surprised at the people who I've gotten just from cold emailing. So
who was like one person where you said, holy shit,
I mean, the
fact
that I got both Matt and Tyler from Radio Silence off of an email was crazy.
That's crazy.
So, and now we're like really good friends, and I see them randomly at premieres, and they will come and like tackle me, and I'll be like, I love you guys, and they're such good humans, and they're funny, weird dudes, and they're great. They're awesome humans. So that's been absolute delight. I've hit Anders home on from Workaholics, and
that was a great episode too. The fact that your dad knew Anders.
Yeah, so I connected with him at the Comedy Store. I just cold walked up to him and I was like, my dad, and he's like, holy shit, what the fuck? And I was like, yep. And
he was Anders' swim coach.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, his strength coach.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so he didn't teach him how to swim. He would work him out so he would swim better.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that was really cool. So just stuff like that, where it just, sometimes you just got to talk to people. And then there's people at horror cons that I meet, and, I'm like, oh, you're cool. Like, let's do something, and, try to link up with people who are making horror movies. And then, yeah, fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming on this little podcast.
Of course.
Appreciate it.
It's been an absolute blast.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on.
So tell all the good folks where they can find Katie Afraidy.
You can find me at Katie Afraidy on Instagram. Linked there is also our TikTok and our YouTube. Katie Afraidy, all social media platforms. You get it. And yeah, it's a fun time. Come hang out. No, that's okay.
No, seriously, everyone, go check out her podcast. It's a lot of fun. Always enjoy checking out the new episodes. So yeah, do that. And if you're still watching or listening, thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up. I'm awful at wrapping up podcasts too. It's always fun. Like, okay, I'm gonna stop talking now.
Yep.
Bye.
It's the ending question I always ask is, are you afraid or not afraid? And then that's how they know, like, I'm wrapping it up. And then
and you have the guest answer.
Yeah. Or like, were you afraid of this movie? Were you not afraid? And then I go, okay, cool. Well, make sure to subscribe, all that jazz. Tell us where to find you. And yeah. And then I
need a catchphrase like that, a little something. It's
hard. It took me a while to find that. And then, to figure out, it's hard. Podcasting's hard. This is hard.
Yeah.
You're doing great. It's hard.
It's yeah. Well, thank you. All right. I'm about to fumble that compliment and end this podcast. Katie, thank you so much.
Of course.
All right, everyone. Catch you next time.